1st July 2026. Episode 1900. Hasmukh supports Anupama. Anupama tries hard to convince the Shah family to let her travel to Mumbai to save Purvicha. The family opposes her, leading to high-voltage household tension. Hasmukh loses his temper and fiercely scolds Leela and the others for holding Anupama back, standing firmly by her side. Rajni confronts and blames Anupama regarding a deal involving Chawal builders, accusing her of feigning innocence. 2nd July 2026. Episode 1901. Anupama faces Rajni's truth. Anupama physically blocks a demolition bulldozer, fiercely insisting she was completely unaware of the underlying development deal. Rajni steps forward to expose the partnership details, publicly accusing Anupama of merely pretending to be innocent despite knowing about Parag's direct involvement. 3rd July 2026. Episode 1902. Anupama stand against Rajni. Rajni shocks everyone by falsely accusing Anupama of demanding a penthouse as a bribe. This sudden revelation turns the local Chawal residents against Anupama, with several neighbors labeling her a fraud. Desperate to save her neighborhood and prove her innocence, Anupama takes a drastic step by lying directly in front of an oncoming demolition bulldozer. 4th July 2026. Episode 1903. Anupama faces Rajni's wrath. After the harsh allegations, Anupama actively reaches out to the Chawal residents, promising to stand with them and protect their homes from demolition. She directly confronts Rajni regarding her deception. During the heated confrontation, Rajni openly vents her deep-seated jealousy, admitting she resents the love and respect residents give Anupama. Fearing Rajni will manipulate Bharti, Anupama instructs Jaspreet to keep the truth hidden until Bharti can find out on her own terms. 5th July 2026. Episode 1904. Parag reveals Rajni's betrayal. Anupama directly faces Rajni, furiously reprimanding her for destroying the homes of innocent Chawal residents. Parag approaches Anupama and exposes the truth, officially revealing Rajni's deep betrayal. Armed with this information, Anupama attempts to file an official police complaint against Rajni Desai, accusing her of fraudulently obtaining signatures to seize the Chawal residents' land. Rajni remains remorseless, mocking Anupama and daring her to produce solid evidence. 6th July 2026. Episode 1905. Pari plots against Rajni. The local Purvi Chaya community turns completely against Anupama and actively urges her to leave the neighborhood. Despite the intense hostility, Sarita and Jaspreet step up to fiercely defend Anupama's integrity. Realizing that legal means are stalling, Pari takes matters into her own hands and begins plotting an online expose to unmask Rajni's corrupt dealings to the public. 7th July 2026. Episode 1906. Parag's plea for forgiveness. Anupama successfully files an official FIR against Rajni. Concurrently, a heartbroken Vasundhara breaks down in tears in front of her Lord Krishna idol due to severe stress regarding the mortgaged house. Overcome with guilt, Parag approaches Vasundhara to plead for forgiveness and apologizes for hiding the harsh truth from her. 8th July 2026. Episode 1907. Anupama faces Rahi's fury. Rahi confronts Anupama in a state of absolute fury, aggressively demanding she return home immediately to fix the massive emotional and financial mess she has caused. Rahi emphasizes that Anupama must look Vasundhara in the eyes and provide a firm assurance that she will personally resolve the crisis surrounding their mortgaged house and the cancelled project. 9th July 2026. Episode 1908. Anupama makes the Kotharis angry. Following Rahi's urgent call, Anupama visits the Kothari mansion where the family aggressively pressures her to drop her opposition and take Parag's side. Despite the intense family backlash, Anupama flatly refuses to back down, stating her firm decision to stand by the Chawal colony residents. Vasundhara completely snaps, humiliates Anupama, labels her a bad mother, and issues an ultimatum to take Pari back from her custody. Unexpectedly, both Parag and Prem step up to rally behind Anupama. Dash. 10th July 2026. Episode 1909. Despite her lawyer voicing serious doubts about winning the case, Anupama remains unwavering and fiercely vows to continue her legal battle to secure justice. Dash. 11th July 2026. Episode 1910. Rajini's move to defame Anupama. Rather than confronting Anupama directly in court, Rajni takes her tactics to the media. She goes live on a prominent news channel to launch a massive public defamation campaign, leveling malicious false allegations against Anupama's character. By making Anupama look corrupt on national television, Rajni successfully creates doubt among the Chawal residents, aiming to strip Anupama of her community backing. Dash. 12th July 2026. Episode 1911. Anupama lashes out at Rajni. Parag breaks down emotionally under the heavy strain of the Chawal dispute, but Prem steps up to comfort him and promises to stand by his side. The conflict escalates to dangerous levels when a desperate Rajni sends local thugs to intimidate and threaten Pari and Ishani. Furious that her family is being targeted, Anupama storms directly into Rajni's house, fiercely reprimanding her and issuing a severe warning that she will physically retaliate if Rajni ever comes near the children again. Dash. 13 July 2026. Episode 1912. Fear strikes Rajni. Following Anupama's intense threat, a heavily shaken Rajni suffers a panicked nightmare where she imagines Anupama bringing harm to Varun. Seeing Parag completely overwhelmed by the legal and economic crisis, Prem and Ansh step in to support him, actively coordinating loan contacts to arrange funds and bringing a much-needed ray of hope back to the struggling family. Dash. 14th July 2026. Episode 1913. Anupama prays for victory. Faced with mounting pressure from her legal battles and neighborhood turmoil, Anupama holds a special prayer meet, deeply praying for strength and ultimate victory. In a surprising turn, Rahi puts aside her recent anger and steps up to offer crucial emotional support. Prerna then secretly disguises herself by wearing Anupama's signature shawl and stealthily goes out in Rahi's place, setting off a new wave of complications. Dash. 15th July 2026. Episode 1914. Varun exposes Rajni to Anupama. A massive fire breaks out inside the house and Prerna becomes trapped inside the burning room. Sensing her child is in imminent danger, Anupama jumps directly into the ragging fire to rescue Prerna. Rajni initially rejoices, believing Anupama will burn, but her plan completely backfires when Varun reveals that her own daughter Prerna is trapped in the flames. Overcome with regret, a devastated Varun turns against his mother and exposes Rajni's entire conspiracy to Anupama. Dash. 16th July 2026. Episode 1915. Anupama's clever trap for Rajni. Capitalizing on Varun's confession and the recent arson attempt, Anupama orchestrates a clever mind game by staging a trap and pretending to be a restless spirit to terrify the superstitious Rajni. Shaken to the core and completely frightened, a panicked Rajni breaks down and accidentally confesses to her various corporate and personal crimes. Back at home, Prem steps in to comfort a heavily emotional Vasundhara, urging her to maintain her faith in God. Dash. 17 July 2026. Episode 1916. Anupama's final warning. Following the elaborate trap, Rajni is completely stunned and frozen in shock to see that Anupama is actually alive. Anupama confronts Rajni head-on, delivering a powerful warning to the corrupt politician that ill-gotten wealth and power mean nothing and will not last beyond this life. Dash. 18 July 2026. Episode 1917. A sigh of relief for Kotaris. The Kothari family breathes a massive sigh of relief when they officially learn that the controversial redevelopment project has been cancelled, saving their house from being sold. Following the exposure of her corruption and crimes, a humbled Rajni approaches Anupama, desperately begging her to help convince Varun and Prerna to forgive her actions. 19 July 2026. Episode 1918. Anupama earns gratitude. Moved by everything, Anupama risked to stop the demolition and unmask Rajni. The grateful residents of Purvichaya colony earnestly request her to stay back and continue living with them. Parag and Vasundhara finally look past their previous conflicts and acknowledge the massive role Anupama played in exposing the corruption and ultimately saving their family house. 20th July 2026. Episode 1919. A warm welcome for the Shahs. Vasundhara grows incredibly upset after accidentally overhearing a private conversation between Rahi and Prem regarding children. Later, the Kothari family shifts gears to host a grand gathering, warmly welcoming the Shah family over to celebrate Vasundhara's birthday party. 21st July 2026. Episode 1920. Vasundhara's Birthday Bash. Khyati and Parag approach Anupama with an important family request, asking her permission to let Prathna deliver her baby inside the Kothari household. Later, both the Shah and Kothari families gather to joyfully celebrate Vasundhara's birthday. Despite the celebratory mood, a massive verbal argument breaks out between Anupama and Vasundhara, who feels highly insulted after one of Anupama's trademark long, intense speeches. 22nd July 2026. Episode 1921. Rahi gets injured. During a party game, Toshu acts out a rude mocking imitation of Vasundhara, who chooses to completely ignore his bad behavior to maintain the party's peace. The celebratory mood takes a tragic turn when Rahi slips unexpectedly during a dance segment and suffers a painful injury. Seeing Rahi hurt, Anupama puts aside her differences and decides to stay back at the Kothari household to take care of her daughter. 23rd July 2026. Episode 1922. Anupama grows suspicious. While nursing her injured daughter, Anupama spends quite time with Rahi and the two bond deeply as they recall sweet moments from Rahi's childhood. The domestic peace is short-lived when Anupama accidentally overhears a private conversation between Kirti and Kapil. The sketchy details immediately set off red flags, making her highly wary and suspicious of their true motives. 24th July 2026. Episode 1923. Kapil's Secrets Under Watch. Prompted by her growing suspicions, Anupama directly questions Kapil regarding his strange conduct, urging him to show some restraint. While confronting him, she observes the deep emotional distress of Kapil's mother, further heightening her red flags. As Anupama pushes for answers, a troubling dark truth regarding Kapil's private life begins to emerge. 25th July 2026. Episode 1924. Kapil's Secrets Under Watch. As Parag tries to make her feel welcome, Anupama confronts Kapil regarding his suspicious behavior, but he immediately dodges her questions and grows highly defensive. Anupama closely observes Vasundhara's cold indifference toward the situation, deepening her suspicions that a much bigger crisis is brewing. The underlying pressure reaches a breaking point when Kapil's secret drives him to a dangerous extreme, forcing Anupama to step in just in time to save his life. 26th July 2026. Episode 1925. Anupama steps in to protect Kapil. Anupama spends time with Rahi to soothe her fears, firmly advising her to keep her trust in Prem and not let outside manipulation ruin their bond. The family crisis peaks directly after as Anupama steps in at the absolute last second to save a desperate Kapil from taking a fatal step. 27th July 2026. Episode 1926. Prem's stern warning to Prerna. As Prerna tries to move closer and get intimate with Prem, he immediately pulls back, gives her a stern warning to keep her distance, and officially declares his love for Rahi. Following the revelation of his secrets, a determined couple approaches Parag and earnestly implores him, expressing his final wish to get a divorce from Kirti. Dash. 28th July 2026. Episode 1927. Anupama backs couple's fight. Anupama stands strongly behind couple's decision to seek a divorce, firmly urging him to secure solid legal proof so he can face Kirti's incoming threats without backing down. Kirti refuses to take the divorce request lightly and heavily intensifies her emotional and verbal pressure on couple and the family. Amid the rising household toxicity, Anupama rediscovers her inner strength and mental peace by throwing herself into her cooking. Dash. 29th July 2026. Episode 1928. Couple's truth faces denial. Couple runs into a major obstacle when he discovers that his crucial legal evidence has been digitally erased. Refusing to let Kirti get away with her manipulation, Anupama steps up and presents her own recorded video proof. Armed with the video, Anupama confronts the opposition directly, forcing couple's truth to stand strong even against aggressive denials from Kirti's side. Dash. 30th July 2026. Episode 1929. Anupama exposes the truth. Anupama plays her recorded video evidence in front of the entire family, completely exposing Kirti and couple's deceptive actions to the Kotharis. Realizing she has been cornered, Kirti threatens to completely demolish couple's family business warehouse if they pursue the divorce. Refusing to let Kirti intimidate them, Anupama steps up to console couple's mother, offering firm emotional reassurance and promising to stand by them through the incoming legal battle. Dash. 31st July 2026. Episode 1930. Hasmukh's emotional moment. Anil severely reprimands Meeta for trying to force Raja and Pari into planning a baby against their timeline. Seeking a moment of peace, Anupama takes Hasmukh out to visit an old friend. The visit triggers a wave of heavy nostalgia and bittersweet emotions for Hasmukh as he reflects on life and deeply cherished old bonds. Dash. 1st August 2026. Episode 1931. Anupama seeks a miracle. Following their visit to an old friend, Hasmukh stands by the bedside of an unconscious Ravinder, speaking to him with deep emotion. Realizing Ravinder needs his loved ones close during the medical crisis, Anupama actively sets out to trace and contact his family members for support. To get to the bottom of the situation, Anupama contacts an old college and begins a deeper probe into a hidden past shared by Hasmukh and his group of friends.